So far, we've got a basic idea now of um, how to look at food, health. We know that the powers that be, FDA, the food industry, really their goal is to make profit. So they really don't have our best interests at heart. We know that. We've established that, okay? So now I think we're going a little bit different directions, right? We've been focusing on food and nutrition. But what if that wasn't the most important thing when it comes to health? What if what's happening to us in our bodies is a reflection of what's happening to us spiritually and emotionally? Now, do you know how emotion affects us? Do you know that it does affect our bodies? In what way?
Well, when you get angry, your heart starts to beat faster.
Yeah,
Or scared.
yeah.
Stress.
Stress, yes. More than 80% of health issues has its basis in stress. Because when we get stressed, what happens is that the body actually produces certain chemicals, what we call stress hormones. Like, well, we have the fight or flight hormones, which is like cortisol. And when these chemicals remain in our bodies, they cause physical manifestations. And if you think about it, we're stressed from the time we get up. You're in the traffic, somebody does something, you go to work, there's stress all the time. So the body is continually producing these chemicals in our bodies, and we're not able to use it up or burn it up. So it remains in our bodies and it accumulates, and eventually it causes physical symptoms in our bodies. Yes. Also, there's we talk about the fight or flight hormones, but there's also hormones that's produced when we have feelings like joy. Endorphins are released in our bodies. Sometimes when we exercise, get a feeling of euphoria. That's certain hormones. That's like the joyful hormones that are induced. When we do acts of kindness, endorphins are produced in our bodies, not just our bodies, but to the person that we perform the kindness to. Endorphins are produced in their bodies also, and even a person that's watching the act of kindness, endorphins are produced in them. Now, what endorphin does, it actually brings health to the body. The Bible says laughter does good like a medicine.
Yes.
There's actually chemicals that produce when we feel certain emotions that actually bring healing to our bodies, just as the stress hormones can actually produce sickness to our bodies. Now, emotions and feelings, what's the difference? Do we know?
Really?
I would guess your emotions can derive, I guess, from how you're thinking, and then how you're thinking will give your body, I guess, how to feel, or the emotions how to feel, or something like that.
Right. The emotions come first before the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, say for instance, somebody does something detrimental to us. Let it be, let's say, betrayal or something that really damages us. Yeah, and the Bible says, let not the sun go down on your wrath. If you deal with it before it gets to that real deep feeling,
Yes.
yeah, because that's a step up when you start feeling.
Mm-hmm.
If you deal with it, then it can dissipate the stress.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have nothing really to build on. The Bible talks about it, a root of bitterness. You see, if you hold on to things, they grow roots. And the more we think about it in a negative light, instead of trying to diffuse and make it dissipate, it grows roots and goes deeper and deeper. And this is where danger comes in. You can go from anger to bitterness, resentment, and we just feed on it over and over and over again. And every time we do this, we're reliving, and the body doesn't know that you're not actually going through that actual experience. It produces the hormones over and over, and it begins to build up in our bodies and actually have physical manifestations.
Wow.
So this is why it's good to deal with, something comes up, deal with it and just let it go, because it'll definitely have a manifestation. You might just, your child might walk in the room and just do something simple. You jump at them. It's nothing to do with what the child did. It's because of things that's inside that you haven't dealt with.
That's right.
So this is stress is something that we have to deal with. We have to, and it's something we're not taught to deal with. I was thinking this morning, we go in the car. What do? We put the radio on. We come home. We put the TV on. There's no stillness. There's no time for reflection, like inner cleansing. We don't take time to do that. And it's to our detriment, because whether we know it or not, chemicals are continually being created, being produced, and build up, build up, build up. And it's going to have to come out one way or another. You have sometimes headaches and pains and different things, and the root of it is stress, even though we don't really know it. Yeah. Yes, the emotional, the spiritual has a physical manifestation. We have terms like a lump in my throat. How does that happen? We have a gut feeling. It starts in our emotions, and then it has a physical manifestation. So dealing with things, sometimes we have, some of us have things we've been holding on to for years and years. People have done us things, and we're just not able to let go. And every time we think about it, those emotions come up, and the body's seeing it as happening then again. So it's important for us to just reflect. Some of us are holding unforgiveness in things that happened maybe in our childhood that we're not able to let go of. But we have to, if we're going to be out in balance. Because if we don't, we're out of balance. Once we're out of balance, this nothing really will go right. Because one area will affect another and another and another. So that's basically just a little short lesson, something for us to reflect on. Yeah. Another thing is, let's say somebody that's been like normal weight for many, many years, and all of a sudden they start gaining weight, just gaining. If that person would go back, think about when they first started gaining. Go back 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, even 2 years. They'll find some type of trauma took place in their life. Could have been a death of a family member, death of a friend, a break of a relationship, a divorce, something like that. It triggered something within them that they did not deal with. And that is what caused them to, the stress hormones to continue. So it behoves us to deal with, go back, reflect. This is what I was saying while we were doing the juicing. It would be a good time to actually reflect on different things in our past, things maybe we haven't dealt with. Because all of us have experiences, traumatic experiences. We deal with it differently.
Right.
But a lot of times we don't deal with it at all. We push it aside. But it comes up. It's manifest in different ways in different areas in our lives. It's something we need to deal with.
That's extremely important.
Two questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have dealt with that prevents you from gaining weight? Well, my question is, things, I know what you mean when you say things in the past, because I still reflect back on things in the past and I feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But how do you get that out of you?
Yeah, that's the thing. See, we're all so different. We're all so different. But the fact that you notice there is a good thing, because a lot of people don't even recognize it.
I recognize
You
it,
recognize
but I
it,
don't
yeah.
know how to get rid of
How
it.
to
And
deal
I,
with it.
my mind, like, okay, I'm gonna let this go, but it comes back, and I feel that same way.
Yeah,
So
I
how do
think
you really get rid of it?
really, I think really, you just have to take it to the Most High, because He's the only one that knows how to deal with you. Because what I use, the formula I use, may not be. I know there was a particular individual that just kept like a thorn in the flesh to me for many many years, and I'm thinking, well, I haven't done this person anything. But do you know what helped me? I started just being kind, just buying stuff, just giving, just being. And for me, that helped me so much to begin to just release and let it go until I got it. Because they say pray. I would pray, but it wouldn't be sincere prayers.
Yeah,
I wanted release,
that's
but
what
it
I'm saying.
wouldn't be sincere. But what I found when I started just giving, just reaching out to the children, to the grandchildren, that helped me to release until I was able to pray sincerely for the individual. That might not be what's for you. Just pray and ask the Most High to deal with you
Yeah,
and
it's
give
gonna have
you,
to be that.
yeah, you'll
Because
have to, yeah.
these people now, we're not even in the same area no more.
Okay,
So I couldn't just give to them. They just different location.
okay, yeah. But it's still a thorn in there. It's still raw. It hasn't been dealt with, yeah.
Yes.
Now I had it's an actual sister of mine that I don't know what she had against me. I just don't know because we didn't grow up together. But there was always something there. And then one day a message was preached, and it just happened that she was down in Atlanta. So I traveled to Atlanta, and even though I knew I hadn't done anything to her, I said, I want you to forgive me. If I've offended you in any way, please forgive me. She said, oh no, you haven't. But when I went back, it wasn't immediate. But slowly, I felt my feelings towards her was different. She started calling me more, calling more. And then when we did meet, it was like a reunion. I was so happy to see her. And she seemed genuinely happy to see me. And it was a connection that we'd never had. So find what works for you. Take it to the Most High. He wants you to, because He wants you to be free. And He'll show you.
Okay.
He'll show you how. But you can release, no matter what people have done. And see, you have to see what was in it for you, because nothing happens to us by accident. As children of the Most High, everything that comes to us happens for a purpose.
Oh, I believe that.
Yes. So find what was in it that you needed to grow from.
Okay.
You look at it from that angle.
The enemy part is planning to keep me from elevating.
Okay. Yeah. But you see, it's the ones that come against you that actually build
That's
your
right.
character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good information.
Okay. That's it today.
That was beautiful. I love the hand clap. That was really good.
How you feel?
Right on line with what I was bringing today. So that's that's the Most High doing of Most High doing. All right, just hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go live on now. When I tell you, get a cue.